baby formula, being able to feed our infants, is a pretty big question mark right now. So, how are you helping your patients with their needs right now?
Yes, so here at Mahaska, we have had several patients that have had babies under the age of 12 months come in saying they couldn't access their particular kind of formula. In those worst case scenarios, we have been using formula from our labor and delivery department to help them bridge the gap of the time that they can find formula to the feeding their baby. And so we are a resource here for the community where if they don't have access to formula or their particular formula is nowhere available within the 10 surrounding counties, we can offer them Similac that we offer the general population after they have their baby. So we have been doing that, and there has been instances for that. And for the women that aren't currently enrolled in WIC that qualify for WIC, we are encouraging and helping to enroll because those patients can get formula a little bit more faster than off the shelves of people that aren't on WIC. And also, Mead Johnson actually is in support of us being able to refer over patients. They can get 2 cans of free formula from Mead Johnson if we submit a referral to them, and they have made that resource available to us as well. On a larger scale, the president recently instituted Operation Fly Formula, where they've shipped over 78,000 pounds of formula from Europe to America, and so we should be seeing a restock of shelves, hopefully within the next month or two, to help bridge the gap of the shortage.
So if those gaps don't kind of get filled here pretty shortly, is there like an emergency baby formula? What can parents do to help feed their child and during this time?
Well, we definitely don't want patients, or we don't want babies to have diluted formula because those can have serious health implications. More specifically, when you dilute out the formula, then the baby doesn't get the sodium and the potassium, and their electrolytes can become off balance. And that's something we see in like the more like countries that don't have great health care, where they dilute out the formula to make it last, and those babies can get really sick. So please do not, dilute the formula. Please do not create your own formula, because the recipes I'm seeing online are not consistent with what the current formulas that are FDA approved or fortified with, and won't be nutritional value to the baby. And then also don't supplement with milk, whole cow's milk or juice or any other liquid just to bridge the gap. If you do indeed need formula and you have nothing else, then we can give you Similac. And we can help you with the side effects that may come from switching formula very abruptly with the baby. Our labor and delivery is open 24 hours a day, so we are always available.
So for parents that are going, oh my goodness, how's this going to impact my children? And we kind of touched on a little bit already about maybe diluting it, not full strength. What kinds of impacts could that have on a child as they're developing?
Obviously, if a baby's not getting adequate nutrition, then we start to see, especially at the 2-month visit, 4-month, 6-month, 12-month visit, some developmental delays. And when a baby is poorly fed, the first thing you start to see is the loss of their growth velocity on their growth chart, which we always review with parents at each visit. So the first thing you usually see is weight loss or failure to gain weight. And then over time, you'll start to see depending on which nutritional deficiency there is, you could see inability to maintain temperature stability, inability to meet their milestones, like if they're not rolling over or sitting up like they should because they're too weak because they don't have enough caloric intake. You can see that as well. Mm-hmm. And so ultimately especially those first 6 months are very vital to the baby's development for the brain. And so we'll start noticing gross motor delays or cognitive delays or social delays or motor delays in those babies that aren't fed well.
Okay. So we'll kind of recap again. For parents that are concerned, what kind of steps should they take right now, and what kind of help does the hospital here, what kind of stopgap measures do they have to help folks?
Currently, if you're really in dire need of formula, or you can't find your particular formula on the shelf, or it's not enough to sustain the baby, formula in general is okay for the baby, and switching them to different formula because you can't find another one is not going to be detrimental. It might cause some constipation, but that's okay. There's things that we can help with, give the baby that will help with constipation. But please, and if all that's available to you is what we have to offer here at Labor and Delivery, I encourage you to come and get a can of formula or a few cans here. We can give you enough to last you until you can find more. But definitely do not dilute formula. Do not add in juice or whole milk or any other liquid sustenance for the baby. They should be fully formula fed or breastfed.